chapter or whatever? Yeah.
This is Cynthia Ortiz. These are the Charles Perry Stalker podcast. He threatened to take my car. He threatened to take my home. He threatened to kill me. He tried to kill me. He threatened to starve me until I lie. He threatened to starve me until I go to Texas. I don't want to go to Texas. I'm right where I want to be. I left. I left a decade ago to get away from a monster and a creepy person. So it is the... Hang on a second. It is the 17th of November, 2022. We do the disclaimer, use allegedly. Nobody's been found guilty in a court of law just yet. Apply the but-for legal standard, but for the crimes committed against me every day with the intent to inflict injury, misery, drama, pain, force, coerce, witness tamper. I thought it was interesting today when Congress was announcing their investigation into Hunter Biden's human trafficking associations. Mr. Perry has asked me, is Hunter Biden a leak? Is he helping your people? So he's mixed up in that, just so you know, I guess, or he wouldn't have asked me if Hunter Biden was a leak, would he? And who is he leaking to? We cannot, it's a need to know. So you're not in that loop, Mr. Perry. You're the offender. You're the one under investigation. We got this quote from you. It came from a police recording. I just typed it up. And I sent it to my attorneys. And then it goes to my attorneys and some other people. And then it goes out everywhere. Because I'm protecting myself. If I'm in a park, my granddad taught me that when I was little. So did my dad. If you're in a park and some guy grabs you and throws you in a van and takes off, and you could be gone for 10, 20 minutes, 15 minutes. We don't know where you went, who you were with, we won't know what happened to you. So if somebody grabs you, even if they say, I'll kill you if you make a noise, scream as loud as you can. Scream and yell and draw as much attention to yourself as you can, because the chances are very high. One of two things is going to happen. One is they're going to take off and let you go. You'll draw so much attention that they don't want that. They're going to shove you to the ground and take off. Or the other thing that could happen, that is very likely to happen, is people are going to look and get a license plate so we know who took you. We can run the plates and find you. A little easier that way. So if you're just quiet, and you know, they say, oh, if you make a noise, we'll kill you. And you don't make a noise, we may not even know you're gone for a while. So make a noise as loud as you can. If they're going to kill you, they're going to kill you. If they're not, they're not. So just make the noise, draw attention to yourself. They're less likely to kill you if you do that. It's typically a crime deterrent, Mr. Perry. It's for smart people anyway. So what happened is... police got you saying, I'm going to take her car. It's not legal, but I'm going to take her car away from her. I'll have it sold, towed and sold before she knows that it, was illegal. The last highlighted sentence there is what you were recorded saying specifically. The information that we have gotten for now 7 years, over 7 years, what you know of was 7 years ago, starting with the McNamara email of 2015, when you horrified somebody so badly and disturbed somebody so badly, going around telling everybody, I'm going to false arrest her, and she's going to do as I tell her. I'll entice her, I'll bribe her, or threaten her. She can sit in jail or do what I tell her, and I'll, give her a house or something. You told somebody that. I typed it up in an email to my ex-husband in October 2015, and then you did it in January, and you knew we had that. So you proved out that recording, didn't you? You varied a few details because you intended to include my child in that. And once I told his dad he wants to put my kid in this deal, that didn't happen. So, but you've threatened the same every day since that. I'll do it again. I'll frame you for that. You've tried to frame me for more than one murder. I'm not, these guys that got me this are trying to keep you from murdering me. They know good and well I don't commit murder. That's not my way. If I was going to kill somebody, it'd be you. I hate your guts. You ruined my life. So if I have a motive to kill somebody, it'd be you. I know enough people I can make that kind of phone call, and you're out in the desert. You're bird food. Nobody would even miss you. So, I mean, you do nothing but cause problems and loss and drama, and you're cruel. You're a very, very cruel person. So believe me when I say nobody would miss you. We can get information like that because everybody's sick of you. And nobody will tell you fuck. You've called all kinds of people trying to find out who's helping me and who's leaking and who let something slip and who toed on you. Yeah. For years you've done that, haven't you? And nobody will help you. Nobody will help you. You know what? We can get it like that. We got your little plan this weekend. Again, we got more today. Because everybody is sick and tired of you. They're just sick and tired of you. So they tried to do it again. First of all, I do have another job, and they already know where it is. Only a stalker would know that, because I've not even told my family. So, stalking, by the way, is a felony. So is peeping. Peeping is a felony, and it's very, very nasty. It's vulgar. It's obscene. It is a form of rape. It is disgusting. It is creepy. It is nasty. It is awful to do that to a woman. And by the way, it's a felony. Stalking is a felony. Hacking someone's phone or cloning it is a felony. Hacking someone's computer is a felony. Witness tampering is a felony. Destroying evidence is a felony. Obstructing justice is a felony. Tampering with evidence is a felony. Should I go on? Perjury is a felony. Human trafficking is a very serious offense. So Congress, what happened? Why is Congress going after Hunter Biden? What do they call the feds, and the feds don't want to deal with it? They're too busy with Trump. So they got Congress is doing their own investigation. Well, I mean, are they going to find you, or do they already know you're in it too? Huh, Mr. Perry? Because you had me sold. This is about money. You sold me. We have a witness that says you put hidden cameras in women's homes. You find divorced women with kids. You troll women. You tell your wife, Jacqueline, and your son, Matthew, and your daughter, Jordan, that you're out of town on business, and they won't go with you. And we also know you're in Oklahoma more than you're in Lubbock. You don't live in Oklahoma. Nobody invited you here. You come up here all the time, and you fuck with me all the time. So you put hidden cameras in women's homes. I'm one of your victims. So is my child. Children. That's child pornography. You broadcast that all over the dark web, and you sell watch time. And I've been over this. It's out there. And he said he is a sexual sadist. He gets off on being very cruel to women. He hates women. He's into men. He hates women. So Mr. Perry tells me that he was abused by an older cousin when he was from ages 6 to 8. Whatever, sir. So are a lot of people. But only 0.1% of the population becomes a violent offender. 99.9 don't, abused or not. They do not use that as an excuse to fail. They try to find a way to help other people. And don't use that shit as an excuse to be a failure. And if you're breaking the law and you're hurting other people, you're a failure. Success is when you do things right, the legal way, you accomplish goals, you help people, you make the world a better place than it was when you got here. And you've done nothing but rip up lives, including cops. Including cops. Once you do that to a cop, unless it's the ones on your payroll, everybody else gets pretty upset about it. Pretty upset when you kill a cop. It's bad when you kill anybody, but when you start killing cops, you cross the line there that it's a point of no return. You're not getting back from that one. So, and maybe a Supreme Court judge. Maybe a Supreme Court judge. There's enough suspicion around you on that one too, to cause some pause with people in power that can get me that. And the McNamara email. So the information that we get is very, very detailed, and it's very, very specific. And what we got this week was that Mr. Perry found out where I'm working already, because he's a stalker, and that's a felony. Wanted the people that I work, same thing that he did at the strip club. Let's get one of her coworkers to steal a driver's license out of her purse. Well, I keep that because I know we all know you do that, and you've tried to do that for a long time. My driver's license is pretty much fucking up my inside of my sock and my shoe all the time. I don't take it out unless I need to show somebody. It is always on my person. I don't just leave it anywhere, because you guys have talked about that over and over and over and over. We've got it every time you do. You took my social security card. My guys tell me, get your social security card out of your purse. He's gonna have it stolen. And I forgot. About a week or two later, he calls me and he goes, did you forget to get your social security card out of your wallet like I told you? They have it. Go look. You don't pull that out all the time. You don't use it very much. So I did have it in my purse, and I did forget to get it. But it's not, I wouldn't have noticed that until I needed it, had he not told me. So I reported it stolen. But I was told that's the point. We can get information like that, and you can't. The second you start taking my home away, we get Calvin's name. The second you started trying to get me kicked out of my apartment, we got Calvin's name. The second you start getting me kicked out of that hotel, and where you took my clothes and everything and threw them in the trash, we get Geppetto's name, we get Lucius's name, we get Sanjay's name. We had a lot more names after that. Because everybody's sick of this and what you're doing to me and Mike. Very, very sick of y'all. Very sick of what you're putting everybody through. The more you contact me, the more we get. So what they wanted to do is, first that, they wanted to also go get my car. So this weekend, make sure she's out of her new place. Make sure we get her car, and she's just fucking destitute. And then she'll finally want to be with me. And he starts, when I find out about it, he starts, I always find out before, by the way, not after. We get very, very detailed, specific information. It's very specific on what you're intending to do, and we get great detail about it. How, when, what, where. It's not vague. It's very specific. And we get it before, not after. So, Perry's typing in my phone, I love you, let's have sex. I want to have sex. I'm like, oh my God. Here's the thing about bait. Bait has to be something the other person wants. I don't want you. I left to get away from you, and that was 10 years ago. That's the second thing about that is, what does Jacqueline, your wife, think about that shit that you do? What the betrayal to her and Jordan Matthew that you would say something like that to me? I don't even like you. I don't think you're hot and sexy. I think you're a disgusting piece of trash. You know that. So the more you contact me, the more we get, because I asked you not to contact me. The more you peep on me and sell me online, the more we get. We told you to stop. The longer I'm broke, the more we get. Because what did I tell you? I said, I'm not to be broke again. I can make money. I am not to be broke again. Ever. Or have to ask for money. Ever. And you guys got all arrogant. Oh, well, we'll show her. And you did. But guess what? We got Geppetto's name out of that. We got Lucius's name out of that. We got Sanjay's name out of that. So when you do this shit to me, what it does is it pisses everybody off. Everybody's sick of you. So we get more. They start telling us whatever we need. Well, we get shit in like crazy. Why? What we hear the most is, why is he doing that to her? I can't wait till he's in jail and we can just watch her thrive. We can just watch. Right now, it's like he's constantly holding her underwater, trying to drown her. And you think about, she's about gone under, and here she comes up thrashing, trying to breathe. And she'll accomplish things. We're like, oh my God, I can't believe she pulled that off. She was able to just, and what they're talking about is normal things normal people do. Can't believe she got her homework done this week, as much hell as he put her through. She got her homework done. I can't believe she was able to get this thing filed with the court. As much as he put her through, she got it filed. Nobody really knows how she did that. I can't wait till he's fucking gone. And then we can all finally just watch her thrive. We can go talk to her and not feel threatened. We can go get to know her the normal way. And it's not weird. Because right now, a lot of people know me, and I don't know them. A whole lot of people know me. I don't know who the fuck they are. They know me. They're sitting there watching. They're horrified by you terrorizing everybody. Everybody's sick of that. Everybody's sick of you. We don't have problems getting information, and you guys have called and called and called, and nobody will tell you shit. You don't have one name of anybody in our thing, do you? What's the name of the cop that gave me that? What's the name of the cop that I've talked about that's divorced and very kind to his ex-wife? He's got a great, healthy relationship with his ex-wife. And he does not understand my ex-husband at all. And he said, I take care of my ex-wife. First of all, she's the mother of my kids more than she's my ex-wife. I'm remarried. My new wife was attracted to me because that's how I take care of my family. Everybody gets along. We have a very good, healthy relationship. She did a great job raising my kids. I wasn't home a lot. I was working a lot, so I wasn't around. Ernest's not around. He's in Dallas. You're raising your kid up here, going through shit my ex-wife never had to go through. And he's an asshole to you half the time. When you got a family member that needs help, you step up and you fucking help your family, and you shut up. You don't complain. You don't ask for anything. You shut up. You help. And he knows what you're going through. He's helping sometimes. We know that. He needs to know. We know if everything he's done. We know. So, we don't have any patience for this. Who's that guy, Charles? What's that guy's name? You don't know. Nobody will tell you. You're the offender. You're not entitled to that. But, so then we get this one. Did she do another one? Did she find out again? Yeah. Yeah. Did you think they were going to just stop? They've been at this for years. They're not going to just stop. They're going to put everybody in jail. That's it. They're not just going to stop. They're not getting all this intel for nothing. And I've said that myself. It's not for party entertainment. It is to get a conviction. And the more we get, the easier it will be to get a conviction. So, you can't be bait if you're disgusting to me, dumbass. What does your wife, Jacqueline, think about you doing shit like that? What the betrayal? So what he does is he sells women watch time online, and while these men are watching it, they start buying these women. Well, they have to start tearing down everything they have. All the support systems, so there's no job, there's no money, there's no family members, there's no nothing. And then they whisk them away. And how many of them are dead now? How many of them are dead now? So, who is it that said, if she were to go, she would go through unimaginable torture? He tortures her now. He terrorizes her now. How much worse would it be if she goes to Houston, to this realtor that bought her? It would be awful. I wouldn't go either. He's trying to make her go. He's trying to act like she's going to go voluntarily. He's trying to starve her so she'll cross that border by herself, thinking she didn't have any choice but to go with her ex-husband. She's been sold. They just want the money. So, but you got caught when you did it to me. How many other women know they've been sold before that there's a transfer? See, I know. It's different when you do it to me. How many of the other ones know? I know, Mr. Perry. I have help. Help that got me this right here. This right here. You act like you don't understand what it means that we have that. You act like you don't understand how bad everybody hates you and everybody's sick of you. And y'all just go at it, and we get more. Every day we quote y'all. Every fucking day for 7 years. We have quoted you in great detail, planning a very specific criminal act to me and to my family or to somebody I know. Every day. Calvin, when you contact me at all, it pisses me off because I asked you not to talk. I told you to get out of my life. I came here to get away from you. I have tried 11 times to get a protective order. You go into court ex parte where I'm not there. Sir, the burden of proof is on me. I should be there if I'm supposed to prove something. You make sure I'm not. I'm a little better at court than y'all thought I would be, aren't I? The first time I sued, there was one hearing, and Mr. Perry filed a motion to dismiss on jurisdiction, and the magistrate judge denied it. After that, they wouldn't even let me in court to show evidence. What's the harm in letting her into court to show evidence she doesn't have, or make a legal argument that's not valid? She's not dumb. So, if she was, they'd let her in court. So 11 times you go in ex parte and get it kicked out. So nobody's impressed with that. You played Candyland against you and beat you. You didn't have an opponent. So if I was in court and you had an actual opponent where I'm showing my evidence, I got my witnesses up, I put you on the stand, I'm questioning you, then you might have an argument that people would believe you, but they don't. It's, here's corrupt Perry again. Fucked her over again. And I'll tell you, there are people in Lubbock that knew you fucked me over with that false arrest. And then you and Matt went around telling it was a big mistake, we shouldn't have done it. And they fully expected you guys to make me whole and do the right thing by me and my family. Fully expected it. And when they heard you didn't, they were outraged. We don't have problems getting information. You do. You do, Matt. Nobody will tell you shit either. You do, Charles. Nobody will tell you anything. You do, David. Nobody will tell you anything. Charles, you're creepy. I can't stand you. You are not bait. You're not sexy. You're not interesting. You're not cool. You just disgust everybody. Everybody's sick of your tormenting. All your contact is disgusting to me. When you do it after I've told you to stop and you do it anyways, we get more, just like this. When you contact me, we get more evidence against you. Like your conversations about the ringtone, your conversations about the yellow brick road, the conversations about, we got to get her to mind us. Sir, country bumpkin, hillbilly, sir, get out of Noah's Ark. Get off Noah's Ark, you Neanderthal. You heard of the Me Too movement? Why don't you go talk to, the 4 judges on the Supreme Court that are females. Ask them if they think women ought to mind you. Does that qualify as equal protection? I don't think it does. I don't think it does. I think you're off your nut. Everyone does. We don't have problems getting information. You do. We got names. You don't have even one. You're not listening. When you contact me at all and peep on me and invade my privacy at all, what had come from that? We get more. We get more and more and more stuff nobody else has. You guys got your little code words, Muffin Man. Who's Muffin Man? That's a nickname. What's Papa John's? What's Rumpelstiltskin? What's Hansel and Gretel? You guys use your little daycare code words. Weeble Wobbles. You call yourselves Weeble Wobbles. We're Weeble Wobbles, but we don't fall down. Nope. You're Jenga, and I'm the Jenga piece. You push and pull at me, your whole thing gets wobbly. You're just not very smart. You're just not very smart. It's not that hard for us to get information because everybody's sick of y'all. Just sick and tired of it. You either get that or you don't. We're all like, they don't understand how much people hate them. They don't get it. You can tell. It's just going right over their heads. We just fucking quote them every day. And we say the same thing. When you contact me, the longer I'm broke, you cause me problems, we get more. And they go do it anyway. And then get all up and out. How'd she find out? So that's what this guy asked today. He was like, what? She found out again? They wanted to traffic her this weekend. They wanted this weekend to be the end of it. They were going to out of the place, get her car, and she's fucked. Then she'll call, and then she'll go along with what we tell her to do. We can traffic her this weekend. This weekend will be the end of it. And you got caught again. You got caught again. We say it, then we show you. We say it, then we show you. We say it, then we show you. You are not understanding how very hated you are. People are sick and tired of this. People don't like crime. That's why they made the act a criminal act. You go to jail if you do it. People don't like corruption. Crime was second on the list of things important to voters. People don't like crime. People are sick and tired of you. People are tired of being burdened and imposed upon by you. So he has men choose a girl, I guess, from watching this dark website, and then they pay him money, and they start tearing down their whole life, all support system, all their finances, tear them down, rip them to nothing. Makes them a lot easier to traffic, doesn't it? So the guy's like, I thought she was done. No, she's not done. Things quieted down for a day or two because they wanted to create a panacea so she'd think everything was okay and let her guard down. But what they failed to consider is the guys that are getting her all this, their guard's never down. Why would they do that? They probably heard him talking about creating a panacea, so they got on it harder. They're not dumb. They've been catching you like nobody else in your life has. Y'all don't think it through. You certainly don't understand. Everybody's sick of you. Everybody's sick of the horrifying and the terrorizing and the rape and the robbery and the ruining and the destroying. Sick and tired of you. And the crime and the corruption and the creepy. All you people are creepy as fuck. You're a turn-off. Women are not into creepy people. Not at all. Charles, I want to have sex with you. Oh my. And how many times have I said, if you get anywhere near me, there won't be that. I'll beat the living fuck out of you. You're not getting near me. You are delusional. You're fucking just delusional. And it shouldn't take 7 years of me quoting you guys every day. Get her ringtone. Let's frame her for a murder. The girl that did it has a different color hair. So we got to make their hair match, and our skin's darker. So we got to make their skin match, and then she's fatter. Every witness we heard you guys talking to said the girl that did it, that we saw, quite a bit heavier than Cynthia. Quite a bit heavier was the words they used. Quite a bit heavier. We can't use that fingerprint. We got that from DoorDash. We shouldn't be hacking her DoorDash app to get her fingerprint. And now, I have another job, and they found out where that is. Stalking is a felony. Hacking is a felony. Peeping is a felony. So, there's this. Hang on. You see this movie? Susan Wilson's story? It's about a sick little voyeur like you. This woman slept in her fucking closet. I've done the same thing. I have done the same thing. So that she could have some privacy in her own home. I have done it more than once. No woman should feel raped like that and violated like that in her own house. You weren't invited here, Mr. Perry. I don't like you. I left a decade ago to get away from you, you monster. You're not hot. You're not sexy. You're repulsive. You're disgusting. You're creepy. You're strange-o. You're weirdo. And you need to be in jail. And no one has done more to try to help these guys put you there than me. Ask Pinto. Ask Mickey James. Ask David Robertson. I got them texting some pretty incriminating shit. Or saying it. All I did is ask the question. What happens if he kills me and it looks like Gary Condit and Chandra Levy? Well, it might be worth the risk, Mickey James said. David Robertson says, just let us kill you. Let your life fade away. I can't promise it won't end without death and destruction. I said 3 words if you read my text. 3 words. I want it to end without deception, a lie, death, and destruction. He didn't speak to the word deception. He spoke to, I can't promise it won't end without death and destruction. If you read those texts, read them carefully, TBD. I know exactly what I'm doing. And I caught that. Did you? You got to keep up with me. I'm not slowing down for you. So, I told you guys, I told your attorney, Jerry Bender, when I walked into Mingo Valley and I had documents that indicated I may have been hit, so that I didn't go to Manford and talk to Chief Ridley for the 4th of July. My family's in Manford, close to it. They're not in Manfred, but they're very close to it. They're so close to it that sometimes going to the store is closer in Manfred than it is where the town where they actually live. So, everybody was worried I was going to go out there and do that. So they wrecked my car right at the wheel, 1 of 5 times in 3 years, after they say, I'm going to have her car towed and sold before she figures out it's not legal. I was supposed to have gone to pick up a title. This weekend I didn't go. You know why I didn't go? Because my guys were all over y'all. All over y'all. So, I may act like I'm not paying attention to anything. That doesn't mean I don't know. Sometimes I don't say a word. Sometimes I'm just busy on other things. But I'll change what I do. I won't do what you want. She was supposed to go get the title. I'm going to get her driver's license. I'm going to get the title of the car, and I'm going to get the car. We're going to get her kicked out again. And this will be the last weekend that we can finally traffic her and get our money. And the guy's like, she got him again? I thought she stopped. No, she didn't stop. Just quieted down a little because there was a panacea Charles and Dave created to make her think she could let her guard down. Now, my guard's not down ever. And just because I don't tell you what I know doesn't mean I don't know. And how stupid that you would think I would. This guy that put this camera in this woman's home, also church. Pretend Christian. How can I make people trust me? I'll pretend I'm a Christian. Right? Yeah, you're not the first and you won't be the last. To use God and church to get people to trust you so you can con them in or out of something. But write this down. When we do this crap to her, to Cynthia, it's different. We get caught every fucking time. Every time we try to do it for 7 years. Right? Every time. Thousands of emails about you using my family to kidnap me. Thousands of emails about you trafficking me. Thousands of emails about we got to get her to take the yellow brick road. That's your coaxing to Texas. We got to get her to Texas so we can do more to her. He said that one in March. Thousands of emails about, framing me for this or framing me for that. Taking my driver's license. We got to take that car away. We got to take your driver's license. We got to take that car away. Over and over and over, we get you every fucking time. Who has the actual recordings? What court are they being played in already to get some sort of order? It's probable cause, isn't it? I've said this before. So, I'm going to say this for the very last. Golly. Here's the McNamara email right here. The one where I'm telling my ex-husband months before he's trying to do a false arrest. By the way, I'm the Jenga piece. Said it in 2015. You push and pull at me, all of a sudden your whole thing gets wobbly. It's different when you do it to me, but it's the same every time you do it. Right? I got that in jail. Fabian was the man that I wanted to go out with. In fact, Dave and I talked about him, and I texted him the night Dave came in first and introduced himself to me. Mr. Perry, when you contact me, we get more. Do not contact me. I don't like it. Don't contact me at all. Everybody, Geppetto, Calvin, Sonjay. When Mr. Perry contacts me, we get stuff like your names. When he takes my money, we get stuff like your names. He is not to contact me. He is not to invade my privacy. He is to get the fuck out of my phone. You're creepy, and you're a rejected fail because you're creepy. If there were nothing else, there's that. But there is a lot more than that. This puzzle got to me in jail. What else was in that book, Mr. Perry, that I didn't talk about? What else? Surely there's other messages in it, right? So, Fabian intersects with Hope. It's not Charles's name there, it's Fabian's name. And the name Charles is a whole lot more common than Fabian, so the likelihood, probability-wise, that Charles's name would pop up there over Fabian's is a lot higher. If you think about it, the word boo is a private joke between my friend and I, one of the cops. It's not about you, and you need to butt out. It does represent the fear and the sadness you cause, and you're the selfish little butt-in, always a wannabe and never the one wanted. Yep, I left. Here's the one, in March. I said it, I typed it up right as it happened. We've got one in Tulsa. We gotta get her to mind us, because we're Neanderthal, misogynist pigs. With no life, no real love life. We have to watch TV and pretend like John Hinckley Jr. Yeehaw. Let's go out to the cow patty and kick some shit. Everybody, you gotta understand how that accent and that kind of thinking grinds on the nerves of the whole rest of the country. Whole rest of the country. I hate it. I can't stand listening to that kind of talk. It's disgusting to me. So, this, we've had to take a bunch of classes in my school and in other places about not being discriminatory against women. Do not discriminate against anybody because of their sex or their race and all that. You guys are on planet fucking, like I said, Neanderthal. All kinds of classes they make you take. I'm sure TPD has them too. You got to take a class on not sexual harassment, discrimination, all that stuff. And you can't say shit like that, by the way. So, got to get one. We got a victim of ours in Tulsa that she's catching everything we do. We need to get her to Texas where we can do more to subjugate her. Because we hate women. We're deviant men. We like each other. If you like women, you would do what women like. Women don't like being peeped on. Women don't like being starved into a lie. Or starved and beat down and taken, stripped of everything they have. So if you notice, that's what they did. They get me kicked out of my hotel. It was paid up. It was time to pay the next week, or the next day, or the next whatever. And I did the same thing I'd always done. Mr. Perry, what did I just say? When you contact me, we get more. So we got you this weekend. You're caught. We got great detail. We got Sanjay's name. We got Calvin's name. We got Geppetto's name. We got Lucius's name. Those are your partners, aren't they? Calvin's name. When you contact me, when you start threatening me like you just did, he just threatened me. Yeah, we'll get you kicked out again this weekend. So, duly noted for the record, you made another threat. And it's specific. So they got me kicked out of the last one. I did the same thing I always did. I'm going to go to the bank. I'll be back at 4. I did it every time. Every fucking week or every time. They start screaming at me. I've never been treated like that. You'd have thought I robbed a bank. I didn't owe them any money at that point. This was for the future. I'll go to the bank to pay you for the future, and I'll be right back. Start screaming, yelling at me. Get out. You can't take your stuff with you and all this stuff. We're going to call the cops. I'm not going to make a scene. I'm not going to do it. So I didn't allow the cops to be called to make a scene. That's not my way. I got in my car and I left, and I'm calling my ex-husband, telling him what happened. He's like, oh my God. So he called, tried to pay a week. They refused payment. So that's twice they refused payment. Took all my shit and threw it in the trash. Stole it. It's stolen. Things that did not, all my clothes, all my makeup, my toothbrush, everything. My printer. You guys wanted my printer for a long time, didn't you, Calvin? Calvin was obsessed with getting my printer. Yeah, because if there's a court proceeding or something he's worried about, I can't print anything up if I don't have a printer. So that's duly noted for the record. Who is it you think you're fooling? But notice how they did exactly what the witness says. He strips them of everything. They're easier to traffic. Trafficking comes with a life sentence in prison. Who gave me that, Mr. Perry? You act like you don't know what it means that I have that. It's a pretty big fucking deal that I have it. Everybody's sick of you. And you don't understand that, do you? Or you, David? Or you, Calvin? Y'all don't understand how sick and tired of you everybody is. We can get information like that and you can't. Write it down. There's that. I'm going to have her car towed and sold before she figures out it's not legal for me to do that. Yeah. There's all this that we got. Every time you start trying to fuck with me, we get more, and we get more, and we get more, and we get more. Right? This was the guy. I thought she was not doing that anymore. Oh, yeah? Why'd you think that? It just got quieter for a day or two because Dave and Charles kind of backed off a little so they could create a panacea. It's not the first time you've done that. You think we don't know every time you do that? That's what you're doing. We can get information and you can't because you don't understand how sick and tired of it everybody is. It's crime. People don't like crime. We've explained that to y'all over and over and over and over. And you get all up in arms every time we catch you. And you go right back at it. And then we catch you again because you're not getting it. Everybody's sick of you. You make people's skin crawl. You make everybody sick at their stomach. Shut up, Charles. Get out of my phone. When you contact me, we get more, because I don't like it. I said stop it. Any form of contact, weirdo. And you got some creepy-ass weirdo stuff you do. Nasty stuff. Nasty, creepy shit. Okay, this was also part of it. Point out for me the marks on this officer that looks like he was in a fight. Where are they? Here's the arrest report. He was talking to somebody. Who was it? Who is this quoting? He was talking to somebody and he said, look at this picture. Now, point out for me the injuries on him that looked like he was in a fight. Here's the arrest report. Read the arrest report. Point out the injuries listed in the arrest report that says he was in a fight. Who am I quoting, Charles? When you contact me, we get more. When you peep on me and invade my privacy, we get more. The longer I'm broke, the longer he's in jail, the more we get. The more we get, the more your attorneys you have to pay your attorneys to read it all. And then again in your criminal trial and get it suppressed. And, sir, it's easier to get a conviction the more we get. That right there should make you shit yourself. But you're stupid, so it doesn't. You don't understand how sick and tired of this everyone is. They're tired of being horrified and terrorized by you. They're tired of you making me suffer and being cruel. They're sick and tired of your cruelty and your misogyny and your discrimination and blah, blah, blah. Every wicked, nasty, cruel trafficking, people hate it. And your corruption and your collusion, hate it. We can get information. We've got 6 names of people involved with you, in bed with you, and you have not one of our guys' names. Not one. Sick of you. You don't understand. Everybody's sick of y'all. Sick of y'all. So, Charles Perry, when you contact me, we get more. He just did it again. We get more every time you contact me in any way, shape, or form. Get the fuck out of my life, you sick son of a bitch. Get out. Get away from me. Stop contacting me. Fuck off and butt out. You don't have a choice. As much as we quote you, why in the fuck do you think you do? No one understands why you think you do. Wow, you are something. The other thing that we got, I coaxed Mike to Pensacola. I just want to know if you know about that. How'd you know he had to be begged to go? Go to Pensacola, Mike. It'll be fun. We'd rather you go to Pensacola so we can kill you. We got this whole thing planned. Because I don't want you investigating me. They were talking about Epstein right before the murder. Hours before the murder. And you can't beat somebody to death back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, till their head comes off their body and look like him. Look at my child. He was in a quick fight. Popped him in the face a couple times. Definitely no one died. Nobody was even knocked out. Look at his face. And Mike has nothing like that on him. Yep. Catch up, TPD. We're not going to slow down for you. So I tell Jerry Bender, when they wrecked my car and I go into Mingo Valley and I'm like, this car accident might be a whole lot more than a car accident. Here's some paperwork you need. Oh, we don't do that here. What? I go, my attorney said you take the paperwork and you better look it over. No, we don't do, you tell your attorney we don't do that here. I was dumbfounded. Remember, I'm raised by 4 generations of good officers, good detectives, good police. We are called, my granddad said, as lawmen and women, he said lawmen, he's not a girl, as lawmen, to relieve suffering caused by crime. That's what we do. To tell victims you're safe now. Right? That needs to be painted on every fucking door in every police station, that when people walk in that door, the public that pays you, that puts a roof over your head, and clothes on your back and a car in your driveway, when they walk in your doors, they say that right there on the wall, you're safe now. As lawmen, we're called to relieve suffering caused by crime. That ought to be on every fucking wall. As soon as people walk in, they know this is where you come to be safe. This is where you come to be safe. Not lied to, not framed with something, not tricked into something. Just safe. Not have to deal with corruption, not have to deal with who's on Charles Perry's payroll and who's not. Just, this is where you're safe. You're safe now. And if you're a family, cop family, we got your back no matter what. And that would include this man right here. I'm being punished because I have his back. I don't know this man. I don't know him from Adam. I spent 30 minutes talking to him. It doesn't matter. It's the right thing to do. I'm looking at facts. I'm looking at what does the evidence tell me? He doesn't look like he was in a fight. My guys went over and checked. How come he doesn't look like he was in a fight? Well, he was drugged. I said it before anybody else said it. See, that's in March 2020. They didn't take depositions till May. The attorneys didn't even know. I knew. I'm telling the attorney, the Florida State's attorney. We got that. Then his attorney flipped on him and gave a whole different story to the media that he had told, in court. And see, here's this. Look at this. Dave's admitting to giving me arsenic. I'm not going to promise. Notice PT. Look at that TPD. Did you catch what I caught? You need to, So I tell Jerry Bender about it. I send all the paperwork to Jerry. And I shoved the paperwork under the desk and I looked at her and I said, today it is. Turned around, threw my hand up like exasperated and walked out. I could not believe what I heard. You don't tell people that if you're a cop. We don't take evidence here. That's not how we do things here. Wow. Watch Connecting the Dots by the National Stalking Resource Center at how cops, real cops, handle stalking complaints and car vandalism complaints and crap. And look me in the face and tell me that again. You don't need to be here, lady. You don't belong there, lady. I don't know if you're a cop or if you're just an office worker. You don't need to be there. If you're telling civilians who come in with possibly a very serious, witness tampering type deal on a murder of a police officer. I had been subpoenaed. Mr. Perry sent me the fucking subpoena. I know you're a witness. I'm going to tamper with you anyway. I'm going to ask questions that I have no business asking on Facebook. I'm going to do it anyway. By the way, who are the senator's other victims? He wanted to know which other victims were still talking. Who's Monique, Charles? Who's Monique? See, I have that name too. So that's where like he was found. Not slumped over like if he was hit, not and fell down, but like he was placed there, nice and neat. See, I catch shit like that, TPD. You got to catch up with me. I'm not going to slow down for you. I don't have finger paints and crap. I don't like finger paint cops. You gotta think. Did you catch that right there? Did you see the difference in what I said and what he said? Yeah, think about the subconscious mind too. How does that do? How does that operate? You had a guy I pull up at Quick Trip, and I believe in divine intervention. I believe in divine intervention. I believe that sometimes if I hadn't been where I was, somebody would have gotten hurt. That it was divine intervention. I was there at that moment and did exactly what I did. And there are people who have done that for me too. I promise you that. Everybody has had a thing happen in their life that was divine intervention. God ordained people's footsteps to end up at just that time, at just that place, and to do just that thing. And it kept everybody okay. Everybody's okay because of it. Everybody, every one of you listening to me right now, I'm sure you could probably think of a thing like that, where you're kind of going, that could have been bad. But it wasn't. Because this guy showed up at this time and said this and did that, and wow. That is when you know God is God. If you read the book of Esther, it has a whole bunch of that. The word God's not mentioned in the whole book. But you have all these things that happen, that it just so happened that Mordecai the Jew overheard a plot to kill the king. And it just so happened the king couldn't sleep one night. And it just so happened that he decides to read the book of history. And it just so happened that he turned to the page when Mordecai the Jew revealed the plot and saved his life. That was a lot of coincidences, right? These aren't patterns. These are coincidences. There's a difference. So, it ends up saving the whole Jewish nation, right? Whole bunch of people did not die. Because of all these divine interventions, and it just so happened, and blah, blah, blah. So, I'm at Quick Trip, and I go in, and I tell the guy, I want to buy this and I want cash back. And the amount of XYZ. He's like, okay. He forgets the cash back. I was a little aggravated at him. And it got worse when he goes, oh, my bad. And I'm, oh my God. You did not just say that. I don't even want to hear that. I want my cash. It's too late. It's done. Alright, fine. So I go out to my car and I'm getting ready to leave. And I put my purse in my car and I'm like, I really needed the cash. I really did. So I'm going to go back in. What can I buy that's just nothing, you know, to get my cash back? So I go in, grab a banana off the shelf, hand it to him, get my cash back and my banana, and walk outside, and there's TPD arguing with this dude, and he was huge. The guy was big, and the two officers were tiny. I mean, they were not big people. Either one of them. There's two officers, and both of them were kind of small. They weren't a lot bigger than me. So one of them was male, one was female. This guy is trying to railroad through them and go out in the parking lot where there's a whole bunch of people. So innocent citizens, right? And we don't know what nobody knew what the hell he was going to do. The officers were not being mean to him. They were not being asshole to him. They were being very, very, very nice, very, very, very professional. And sir, we just came to talk to you. We're not trying to do anything here. We just need to talk to you. So somebody called us about you, and we just need to speak with you for a minute. Very kind. I don't know that I've heard an officer be that kind in my life. Even over just something like a simple pullover. I mean, he was really nice. So here's this guy. He's like twice this officer's size. He's big. He's trying to barrel through. And I get in my car and I back up and I stop for a minute. I'm kind of watching, like, maybe I should watch for a second. Let's just see what's going to happen here. And I'm not one to, I'm not a looky-loo. I don't want to get in it. I don't want to get in it. I'm not going to obstruct. I want to get out. I don't want to be a part of that. But the way it was happening, I was getting a little worried about the two cops. And I don't have a gun. They got a gun. I don't have one. But I have my car. So I'm just kind of looking. I stopped for a minute. I reversed my car. I'm getting ready to leave. And I put it back in park for just a second. And I'm like, I'm going to watch this for just a second. So I look back, and he starts going out towards the parking lot. So I hit reverse and backed up just a little. Again, not fast. I did a pretty normal, very smooth backup. And in his subconscious mind, now he's seeing something behind the officers that's big. My car. He goes the other way. And then I leave, because everything seemed to be better. So, we don't know what would have happened had the guy given me my fucking cash the first time. We don't know what would have happened had I not been parked right where I was. It was actually a different place than I park at that particular Quick Trip. That particular Quick Trip, I was parked on the side. This time I was parked in front. And that's not normally where I would park at that particular Quick Trip. So, a lot of things could have happened that day had I not backed up. But my point is that subconsciously, I'm not big. I'm not intimidating, and he clearly wasn't intimidated by two officers who were half his size. But my car created that big illusion, I guess, behind those officers. It made him back up. He completely backed up. Finally, he backed up and went the other way. He just kept running from him, but he went a different way. Not out into the parking lot, but back the other way. So I didn't stick around to see what happened, but my point is, look at my words, and look at his words. I think that's not the right one. Let me find the right one. Death and destruction. I said deception, death, and destruction. And he said something else. Right? However, this whole thing can end. No more stalking. No more cruelty. No more terrorizing and horrifying. No more bothering. No more forcing. No more coercion. No more RICO Act violations. Congress is investigating human trafficking right now. Congress is, Charles. So this has been going. You really think this hasn't already been, that our guys haven't, had a little, okay. You think whatever you want to think. I just want this over. However that can happen, that doesn't require more death, no more deception, death, and destruction. Then I'm in. I want to do it. How can we end this without anybody else getting hurt? No more problems. No more drama. No more everything's an ordeal and everything's a thing when Charles Perry walks in. Everything fun becomes unfun. It's unfun to lose your home and your car and be trafficked. It's very, very unfun to go through that. It's very unfun to watch someone go through that. You're getting your ass kicked, bitch. You're just too stupid to realize that. And then he says, I'm not going to promise anything. Death and destruction is in human rights no matter what. He doesn't cover deception, just death and destruction. Yeah, think about that. And he tells me to let my life fade away. Just let us kill you. Just let us kill you. Nope, I don't think so. I'm not suicidal. So, and that's Mickey James. He said it to me verbally. I didn't have my my recorder with me, and I had it with me. I always have it with me still, but I wasn't in a situation where I could pull that out and record him without him seeing me, and I didn't want to get hurt. I didn't want to cause a scene. I was at work. With Pinto, I had a way to do it where he couldn't see it, and my manager was right across from me. So if I felt safer that if something happened, he's right there. Okay, well, it was different with James. So I had to get him to say it in a text. Well, sure shit, he did. Domestic violence offenders go at the car, Princess. You don't even like women. You don't even like women. Because if you liked women, you would do what women like. Women don't like being starved and kicked out on the street. I've said it. I don't date a man unless he makes sure he don't miss a meal and respects boundaries and my privacy. And you don't do any of that. You don't do any of that. You do opposite of everything I like. I like men who work hard. You don't work hard. You sit on your fat, lazy ass and bother people all day. Don't you? I said don't contact me, so don't fucking contact me. Leave me alone. It's my protected address, so I'm telling Gene Mitchell in October, you're changing what you said to the media, that video would exonerate your client, which we could all see. He didn't look like he was in a fight. That's the first thing we all noticed. Why didn't he have any bruises on him? He just beat someone to death, and he doesn't have any bruises on him. I don't think that's what happened. Let's find out what did. Yeah, keep up with us, TPD. So I tell Jerry Bender when I send all my paperwork, Jerry, I'm not going to sue TPD. And I have about 12 reasons I could. Here's what I'm going to do, because I don't know how to sue people. It's been a very big challenge for me to have to learn how to do that. But here's what I can do in my sleep. I'll cop them. Watch me. You don't have this kind of evidence, TPD, do you? So, you got to keep up with me. I'm not going to slow down for you. This is me telling Mitchell, your argument doesn't even make sense, Mitchell. So, then he asked the question, how did she know what my legal argument was going to be before I made it? Because all you guys are under investigation. This is my granddad. He was a cop. My granddad was the cop of cops. If you're not like Granddad, you're not worth it. I mean, don't even talk. I mean, I don't even want to. Granddad was the shit. And everybody knows that's how I see him. And he believed power was in service to others. Make people feel safe. Tell the victims, you're safe now. We slayed your dragon. He will never hurt you again. That's what the job is. That's what he believed. That's the way he lived his life. And he had some shit go on where somebody tried to put him under. He did the right thing because it was the right thing to do, and he didn't back off, and he didn't apologize. And now his name is on the front door of that police station where he was the chief. And nobody remembers the guy that gave him help. Nobody remembers his name. No one cares. No one gives two fucks about that guy. I very, very much respect my granddad in Roswell, New Mexico, where I grew up. And I was the chief's granddaughter. I was the chief of police's granddaughter. And that meant something where I came from. It meant a lot. I also had a lot of expectations put on me that other kids didn't have. He also was a county treasurer and a city councilman, and he helped set those UFO museums up. because they bring a shit ton of money into that town. People come from all over the world to look at that thing. Okay, so that's what the goal was, I promise you, when he did it. He was county treasurer. That was his campaign thing. My granddad was the shit. And everything that he believed and everything that he did with his life and everything that he is exactly what I want to be. Everything about him. And you've absolutely given me that opportunity, Mr. Perry. You've absolutely given me an opportunity that I wouldn't have had I not said, yeah, I'll help him get elected. I'll help you guys get this guy elected so you can get to him. Because it's a lot easier for an undercover cop to go speak to a public servant while he's out kissing babies and shaking hands and do a little sting up there. Making the guy think, the grandiose thinking serial killer, think that he's an interested voter or an interested campaign donor, instead of pretending you want your taxes done. That'll only work a time or two. Although with Perry, you could get away with it longer because he's not that smart. Get her kicked out of her house. This was Calvin. So, who has that actual recording? Yeah. Every time you contact me, we get another one. Any kind of contact. The longer I'm broke, the longer Mike's in jail, the longer you invade my privacy, the more everybody's sick of y'all. We don't have any problems getting anything. Nothing. Everybody's sick of y'all. You either get that or you don't. But don't complain about it when you know what happens when you do this and you do it anyway. Yeah. There's my granddad. That's when I was a little kid. I was like 2 years old. I was little. That was my great granddad. He was a captain of detectives. Every criminal takes something from the scene or leaves something behind. Nobody gets it all. You find that guy, you find that stuff, that evidence, and you'll get your bad guy. That was Lucky, right? He kept wanting us to pull her over, get information about her car, and give it to him. We had real crimes to solve. He's wasting my time. And she never called us. He called constantly. So it didn't take long. We could figure out he's the one harassing her. Yep. And there's all the Manford crap you guys pulled. That's a car accident TPD didn't want to look into. We don't take evidence here. I don't know. Take your taillight out, Cindy, once you pulled over. Go fix it now. Woke me up at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Because remember, I was working all night as a dancer. Letter to the U.S. Attorney. Powder Michael was looking into was all over my trunk and all over the room a few doors down where David Robertson's employees were staying. Dynamic shot. Threw a brick at me on the highway. Busted my transmission in two. Could have been my head. We're sure it was intended to be my head. Matt Powell constantly. What's our whereabouts? Witness statements. See all this stuff? People coming up taking pictures of me. Dr. Russell. She's scared to death of him. You can't be brave if you're not scared. My report to TPD. I mean, we could go on and on. I've been over this. So when we quote you, we do it every day. It's been going on for 7 years now. I'm not going to tell you what day you're going to be arrested. That's not for me to get into. But we remember who has the information and can get it like that and who can't. And why. You need to understand everybody's sick and tired of what you're doing to me and Mike. Sick of it. Alright? I don't know how many different ways to say the same fucking thing. We say it over and over and over and over and over. Get some help. I don't do the finger paint that Charles. When you contact me, we get more. And you just did it again. Don't contact me. I hate it. Stop bothering me. Stop contacting me. I don't like it. I left 10 years ago. I can't stand you. Everybody hates y'all. We can get information and you can't. Charles, everybody hates y'all. We can get information from right inside your criminal organization, all those little meetings, and nobody will tell you shit. Everybody hates you. Everybody's sick of this. Now, respond like a reasonable, prudent individual who understood what I just said. Because you always act like you have no fucking idea. And you need to be put in a nursing home. Leave me the fuck alone. The longer you're in my life, the longer I'm broke, The longer Mike's in jail, the more you do to me, the more we catch. The more we get. People get pissed. Everybody's sick of you. Leave me alone. Period. The more we get, the easier it is to get a conviction. And the more you're going to pay your attorneys to read through it all. So, that's it. Fuck off, butt out. Leave me alone.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her. You need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.